If I was honest with you and told you something that you really didn't want to, but really needed to hear, how would you react? A. Would you react neutrally, accept it, and thank me for my honesty? Or B. Become offended, yell around, see no flaw within yourself, only to find yourself regret whatever you said a few hours ago, and hate yourself for it? Well, if it's answer B, then you'll be heavily disappointed by what I'm about to tell you. But that's exactly why you should stick around. And if it's answer A, then hey, that's wonderful, but I would still appreciate it if you would stay. You see, you might have already noticed this, but a lot of people from today's generation would react like an option B. All over the world, you see people become more and more sensitive towards minor instances. And to understand how not to be, you have to understand why we are like this to begin with. Have you ever heard of the line, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger"? You may say, "Oh, Khan, come on, man. I've heard this line so many times before, please. Don't you have anything new or interesting to share with us?" And to that I say yes, I do. This phrase is based on the theory that only by experiencing pain, we start to not just value the little things in life, but also experience less pain as an outcome. It's a simple concept that a lot of people have forgotten about over time. Back then, most people were only somewhat aware of this. They would work so hard so their families, themselves, and their descendants can live easier and happier lives. But through that, we, their descendants, have forgotten what it feels like to experience some good old-fashioned pain. Our brains and bodies aren't trained to enjoy the little things anymore, so we keep striving for bigger and greater things to keep pleasing us. But this endless pursuit of happiness is just gonna leave us miserable and unsatisfied. Our lives were made so easy, happy, enjoyable, and stressful that we can't really live happy anymore. And that leads us to think that we are living horrible lives and the world is oh so bad, while in actuality, the world has never experienced better times than right now. We watch the news tell us how a boy from a far, far away country passed away and think to ourselves, "Oh, this world is just so horrible and cruel." While back then, things like this used to happen to our neighbors and we will be grateful that people are suffering less than the week before. And this phenomenon is only getting worse. In short, our ancestors fought for better times. We now live in better times, but we are unhappier than we've ever been before. So let us get back to the original question. How do we reverse this? Well, it's simple, really. All we have to do is become anti-fragile. First, you gotta stop going to Twitter to participate in arguments, because that's just gonna make you more and more insecure. You know, the internet as a whole gave insecure and sensitive people a way to communicate with more insecure and sensitive people, leading them to influence each other badly. And trust me, you really don't want to be part of all this. And if you already are, then better leave early than late. But more importantly, you gotta start to experience physical and mental pain. The good type of pain. Like, for example, training. A lot of people have figured this out already, but yes, going to a gym makes you less fragile. The reason you become more self-confident through training isn't just because you look better, which you do, but because you finally get to experience the pain that is necessary for you to enjoy things and be more accepting towards your future inevitable pain. It's just like they say, a healthy body leads to a healthier mind. But it also goes the other way around. Because mental training may just be as important. There are various ways to train that. For example, by playing Sudoku every day, or by learning how to code, or by solving math equations every day. But the best and most efficient way, in my opinion, and I know this is gonna hurt a lot of you, is by starting to read books. Hey, before you immediately decide to click off this video, hear me out. Let me tell you a little story. So basically, when I was a child, I really hated reading books. Yeah, that's the story. There is nothing more I despise than reading books. And the thing is, I'm not the only one who felt this way. Children have always been driven by emotion and dopamine, but a lot of parents nowadays don't really try to teach their children proper discipline. They do one out of two things. They either let their children do whatever, which leads them to have an immense attention span deficit, or they are way too strict with them and force them to do things they don't enjoy doing at all. And because they don't enjoy doing it, they will never be disciplined. Discipline is very easy to teach, and just like how parents teach their children, you can teach yourself. You simply have to fall in love with the pain. which basically means you gotta find a way to have interest in the books you want to read to begin with. I went from being the guy that would tell everyone during a conversation about books that after reading more than 2 lines, I would immediately fall asleep, to be the guy reading a new book every 2 weeks to gain more and more knowledge about us and the world, to then spread that knowledge and wisdom to you all. It sounds a little silly, but I only got interested in reading because I saw other self-improvement YouTubers reading as well, so I thought, hey, maybe I can be that YouTuber one day, maybe I can talk about the books I've read one day. But it doesn't really matter, since you have to find your own unique way to get interest. And in the end, they will teach you a lot more than I will ever do. And only people who gain more wisdom every day will be open to accept that they are and will always be flawed. They understand that they can gain even more wisdom by being open to criticism and teachings. And hey, maybe one day you will be the person to choose option A as well. Needless to say, I'll release more videos like this soon. Remember to love while you still can, and have a wonderful day.